Sorry.
Right, one call, please. Okay, take one call. Okay, take one call.
जयति जयति विद्या संस्था बख्शी करते कलरव गान जयति जयति विद्या संस्थान जयति जयति विद्या
His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, my dear students, guests, faculty, and staff, I very warmly welcome you to the special convocation of the Tata Institute of Social Sciences. The vision of Tata Institute of Social Sciences is to be an institution of excellence in higher education that responds to social realities through the development and application of knowledge towards creating an equitable and just society. In a bid to enable social development through academic excellence, the Institute has diversified its activities beyond its initial mandate of social work education. This has led to the genesis of several innovative and path-breaking courses in the Institute. This special convocation today celebrates the graduation of students from these innovative academic programs. It's my privilege to tell you about these academic programs in brief. The diminishing values of compassion, tolerance, and the idea of justice for all have been great concern to the Tata Institute of Social Sciences. In pursuance of its mission towards creating a people-centered society, the School of Law, Rights, and Constitutional Governance was established in 2013 to create a knowledge base and human service professionals to facilitate the poor and marginalized sections of the society in securing their rights. Today, in this special convocation, it's special primarily because this involves very innovative interdisciplinary programs, field-based programs developed and offered. The Institute's annual convocation is normally held in the second week of May every year. And this is a special convocation, and we are extremely pleased that His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, readily agreed to come and bless the students graduating today. We have 89 students graduating, 19 with a diploma in counseling, 4 with a diploma in gerontology, 2 with a diploma in youth development and change, 16 with a postgraduate diploma in water and sanitation and hygiene, 10 with a diploma in community media, and 23 with a postgraduate diploma in digital library, and 12 with a Master of Law degree in access to justice. It's my privilege to confer the degrees and diplomas on the students. I have the honor to request you, sir, Master of Laws be granted to those who present, and in absentia may be awarded to them.
Master of Laws, LLM in Access to Justice, Arvind Kumar, Farhana Latif in absentia, Meda Dev, Narbat Narayan Tatyaba, Rani Marak, Rohit Ashwa Kamal, Salil Srivastava, Sangamitra Das, Sheetal Vital, Shibu Sweta, Shobana Meshram, Sri Priya Krishnamurthy. Thank you, sir.
The Academic Council of the Tata Institute of Social Sciences recommends that 50 students of PG Diploma and 26 students of Diploma certificates who have satisfactorily fulfilled the requirements of this institute may be conferred the said certificates.
Postgraduate Diploma in Water, Sanitation and Hygiene, Postgraduate Diploma in Digital Library and Information Management, Postgraduate Diploma in Community Media, Postgraduate Diploma in Disaster Preparedness and Response, Diploma in Counseling, Diploma in Gerontology, Diploma in Youth Development and Social Change. Thank you, sir.
Charge the recipients, those having received the degrees and diploma, and those students in absentia to be worthy of it, and expect them to be successful and contributing in their life, living up to the expectations as a proud alumnus of the Institute. We wish you all a very best in life. Thank you.
The Institute Gold Medal to the best student in Master of Laws, Ms. Shibu Sweta. Prize to the best research project in Master of Laws, Ms. Farhana Latif in absentia. Prize and shield to the best student in postgraduate diploma in water, sanitation and hygiene, Mr. Biswajit Maiti. Prize and shield to the best student in postgraduate diploma in digital library and information management, Mr. Chandrakant T. Chavan. Prize and shield to the best student in postgraduate diploma in community media, Ms. Akanksha Babar. She is absent. Prize and shield to the best student in diploma in counseling, Dr. Gauri M. Kulkarni. Prize and shield to the best student in diploma in gerontology, Ms. Sumi Tadani. Prize and shield to the best student in Diploma in Youth Development and Social Change, Ms. Jayashree Rajesh. Thank you, sir.
May we call upon you to give the convocation address, sir. His Holiness Dalai Lama, ladies and gentlemen.
Respected, learned, and experienced scholars, and rest of brothers and sisters. I always stress, basically we are same human being. These ranks, I don't care, not important. And also the different faith, different races, different culture. These are, I consider, secondary. The important is we are human beings. 7 billion human beings are exactly same. Mentally, emotionally, physically, we are same. So we all have this human brain. And not only human being, but also the entire, we call sentient being which have the experience of pains and pleasure. All have the desire to be happy, peaceful, relaxed moment. Right? No sentient being want suffering. That's the basic right. All sentient being, including human being, 7 billion human being, we all have a right to achieve happy life. Then we human being, because of this unique intelligence, unique brain, sometimes a lot of problem. Although nobody wants a problem, but because of this intelligence, sometimes we create more problem. Other animals, birds, of course, limited some, as a creation, right? Problem which created by themselves, but not large scale, which we human beings, create these things. So, this intelligence, must utilize for constructive way. That's warm-heartedness, sense of concern of others' well-being. Once we keep here sense of well-being of others, then our intelligence can be constructive intelligence. This marvelous intelligence then creates happiness, joyfulness. So, firstly, now here, those students or graduates who receive now, at least this one, you already were there. So I would like to express my congratulations. I'm quite sure when you passing through final examination, you must have experience of anxiety, because of the excitement. Myself also, when time come to near, close the final examination, I also much excited and also including fear. According also the pattern of examination is a lot of debate so some kind of sort of the written sort of the thing. You can check some other things, but debate. What kind of point they made because of the race? Don't know. So some sort of anxiety and also a little bit sort of fear. Right? So now you already sort of, already passed is that sort of period. Now you already got kasada degree. Right? So now, important, as I mentioned earlier, your knowledge, whether used for trouble or used for good thing, it's not depend on teachers, but depend on yourself. Your own sincere motivation, compassionate motivation. Then all your knowledge can be constructive. Then these programs, I think firstly, Kazata, many other things, you see the justice of it. So that I think very, very important. I think as a human being, human society is very important. Then here, this country, Bharat, most populated democratic country. Modern India, since become independence, I think compare neighboring states, this nation, most stable nation. So, past about Bharat, I think long history. I always telling this Egyptian civilization and Kasachuti, Indus Valley civilization, the Chinese civilization. I think among these three ancient civilizations, I think Indus Valley civilization eventually, I think, produced most sort of because of the great thinkers, philosophers. Perhaps I am a student of ancient Indian sort of philosophy, Indian sort of thought. So maybe a little prejudice may be there. And particularly I am a student of Nalanda tradition. So I feel that those Nalanda masters, of course Buddhist, and also you see at that time among Hindus, Jains, really brilliant sort of minded sort of people. Right? So their knowledge in 21st century now, today, see, still very useful, very compatible, right? Compatible with modern scientists, modern science. So that shows how sort of the intelligent person. One example, again, an Indian scientist. Now he no longer. The Raja Ramana. Yeah. So once he told me in Delhi, on occasion, he told me the quantum physics in the modern world is something new. But in this country, 2000 years ago, already, you see, developed the concept of quantum physics. So he, as an Indian scientist, he told me he feels quite proud. So the Indus Valley civilization, I think, highly developed about human intelligence. And I'm Buddhist. Of course, in my daily prayer, I also do pray or meditation. But just pray, I do not think everything can be all right through prayer. No. Action, karma, action is more important. So in order to carry action, you need vision. So intelligence, education, professions, very, very important. And meantime, I think first, meantime, as I mentioned earlier, is this sense of responsibility here. So I'm in the past, India, I think, really produced wonderful thinkers, wonderful sort of, the ideas or concept. So now present, as I mentioned earlier, I think most populated democratic country in this planet, in spite sort of many drawbacks, still very stable. Generally speaking, quite peaceful. So India, a democratic country, rule of law. But on paper, rule of law, wonderful. But sometimes you see people who involve in law, see lack of moral principle here. Sometimes you see the rule of law resting on paper. So you people, now you see the genuine spirit of law survey, justice is very important. One thing. Then also, you see, you stress the development in rural areas. Water. Really, very, very important. I always is telling my friend, my Indian friend, the real development of India must take place in rural area. Like Bombay, each time I came here, more buildings, more high buildings. That's not real India's development. The development must take place in rural area. After all, India is land because of farmland. Finally, you see, these people in big cities, big businessmen, finally, they have to fulfill their stomach. If eventually science and technology produce human body, which you see can sort of survive without food, then okay. I think that's impossible. So food, very, very important. And India's real economy, I think the rural area sort of, their protection, very important. Water now, very relevant there. And the proper development in rural area, very, very important. The new government have some sort of plan, 5 million toilet or something. Firstly, when I heard that, sound looks, toilet is top most important. Little bit sort of strange, but this is realistic. In rural area, including for hygiene, for health, many things, the toilet, very important. That means paying more attention about development in rural area. Then education, health, small-scale industry in these rural area. I think very, very important. So I really hope, you see, your knowledge can use the India's further development, mainly in rural area. That I want to to share with you. And then when you introduce me, the modern science and Tibetan Mangasasa knowledge, this is not very clear. Actually, Buddhist tradition, which we practice and kept over 1,000 years in Tibet, is actually come from Nalanda. So our tradition, Buddhist tradition, is pure lineage of Nalanda tradition. Mainly like Nagarjuna, Aryasanga, Buddhapalita, Chandakirti, Dignag, Dharmakirti, Bhavavega, Bosubandh. Major text which we study. And at the beginning, those root texts we learned by heart, memorize. When I was, when I start studying, quite as a lazy student, age I think 7, 8, I already started learning, memorizing these texts. So at that time, I felt, what use is these texts to memorize? Gradually, I found really immense benefit. Very good. You see, these Nalanda masters are writing really open our mind and ability to analyze the reality. So in order to know the reality, the ability, investigation, not relying on teacher's word or not relying on just book. You yourself analyze. There are scientists now do that. Analyze, and experiment. So Nalanda tradition, exactly the same. Even Buddha's own word will not rely. Investigate. If Buddha's own word go against or contradiction with reason, with experiment, then we have liberty to reject Buddha's own word. Because the Buddha himself is mentioned, "O my follower, bhikshus, scholars should not accept my teaching out of faith, out of devotion, but rather thorough investigation and experiment." So that's, I think, really greatness of Nalanda tradition. And then a lot of explanation. As I mentioned earlier, just a prayer, pray to God or pray to Buddha, not sufficient. Action is more important. In order to carry positive action, motivation is important. Therefore, a lot of explanation about mind, about chitta, and different variety of emotion. Tackle the destructive emotion only through the constructive emotion, not prayer, not injection, not alcohol. So therefore, like Bosubandh, Aryasanga, and those other sort of Nalanda scholars, they really explain a lot of things about our emotion, about our mind. So many scholars, many scientists, particularly as you mentioned, the field of brain specialist. Now they really found useful information from ancient Indian psychology. So sometimes I describe modern psychology, compare ancient Indian psychology, modern psychology like kindergarten level. Really. So therefore, many well-known scientists now really eager to learn ancient Indian psychology, these philosophical views. Therefore, the quantum physics and the mathematical philosophy view, same. Wonderful. So therefore, I just want to make a little clarification. Sometimes we Tibetan monk, you see, there are some monks who really study very, very seriously and full of knowledge about these things. But the majority of monks, not that way. Just to carry some puja and use some instrument and waiting some donation. Like the other spiritual brothers, sisters also do that. So therefore, that's the reason, you see, the closer sort of interaction with the modern scientists, mainly cosmology, in the field of cosmology, and then, neurobiology, and then the physics, particularly quantum physics and subatomic sort of physics. Very, very sort of useful. And then psychology, 4 fields. So, that's I just, information. So, you should feel proud. And proud must use for your determination, your willpower, combined with sense of responsibility, well-being of other. Firstly, Indian. Then, ultimately, global level, entire 7 billion human beings' well-being. I think you Indian brothers, sisters, you see, can make some significant contribution. I always admire India's 1,000-year-old concept of secular ethics. The reality, today's world, out of 7 billion human beings, over 1 billion non-believer. These also human beings. They themselves also want happy life. They have a right to be happy person, happy family. But they have no interest about faith. So we must find a way to educate these people. The moral ethics are something very relevant for non-believers also, for their health, for their peace of mind. Now modern scientists, they found peace of mind, calm mind, is very important factor for good health. Constant anger, constant fear, hatred, actually eating our immune system. So, whether you believe next life or not, whether believe God or Buddha or Nirvana, that's a different matter. That's a personal matter. But we are human beings. We want a happy life. And then the key thing, not money, not just mere education here, but warm-heartedness. And that's India's 1,000-year-old secular ethics. Wonderful. With that, this country, the religious harmony. One, I think, living example on this planet. And particularly nowadays, you see, killing mercilessly in the name of faith, different faith. When we heard these things, then more admiration. The 1,000-year-old Indus tradition, religious harmony. So these you must realize, right? You should realize. And you, your personal level, your family level, you see, keep these values. So some kind of combination, modern technology, modern science, modern sort of education. Actually, modern education very much oriented about material value. This alone, no guarantee to bring happy life on individual level, family level, or community level, or global level. That education, very necessary. But at the same time, 1,000-year-old, your own traditional sort of knowledge, tackled with our destructive emotion and increase this constructive emotion, then combine modern knowledge on these things and inner values combine. Then, firstly, individual level, be happier person, happier family, happier community, then ultimately can make some contribution for happier 7 billion human being. What do you think? Some sense or no sense? If you feel you see some some meaning, or then try, make effort. So individual, here I think maybe few hundred. You see everyone. You see you have your friend. If you individual really make effort, firstly improve yourself. Make yourself more happier, more relaxed person. Less sort of stress, less anxiety. That automatically create completely relaxed, no matter what circumstances. And then share with your friend. So that means a few hundred here, at least I think each person, some 10 friends, that means few thousand. Then again, you see few thousand, firstly practice themselves, then share to their friends, then eventually a few 10,000, right? 10,000 and lakhs, millions. That's the way, isn't it? So I think you just should not think just your own family, your own sort of livelihood, right? Livelihood, but think global level. After all, we are social animal. The community happy, we individual will happy. If community remain a lot of fear, a lot of jealousy, a lot of extreme negative competitive sort of feeling, then individual as a part of the society will not be happy. So we have to think the well-being of community. So, if you feel, if you see some reasons, this sort of explanation, then think more serious. If you see this my explanation is not much reason, then dismiss. Okay. Thank you.
I request the director, Professor S. Parsuraman, to present a memento to the chief guest, His Holiness Shri Dalai Lama.
is one of the most precious events for the Institute, and I am here to propose a vote of thanks. First and foremost, I wish to extend my heartfelt thanks to the chief guest, His Holiness Sri Dalai Lama, for accepting our invitation and be with us to inspire and bless the graduating students and all of us. The fieldwork and internship agencies are an integral part of learning experience of each and every student at TISS. I wish to acknowledge their contribution in all the programs of the Institute. I wish to thank all the parents who have come all the way for this convocation. Special thanks are due to faculty, school secretariats, the non-teaching staff from the academic section, dining hall and accounts, and the facility management group for their support and efforts to make this event successful. Once again, I thank one and all for being present on this important occasion to wish the graduating students and get the blessings from His Holiness Sri Dalai Lama. Thank you.
I declare this special convocation closed and the national anthem. Thank you.